No, I can't. I know. Accidentally. All right. No, don't say it.
Bro. Come on, bro. You just hit record button.
Jeez. Measure of angle M. 8x minus 4. X is equal to 6. Substitute 6 in for x. 8 times 6 minus 4. 48 minus 4 equals 44.
My favorite number is
That's great. Hey, did I need to solve for this in this way?
Yeah.
no.
I could have. What else could I have done?
Not do it.
Say it again. Not doing it is not an option. If they both added up to 90, I could have taken 90 minus the first one, right? And that would have given me 44. So I had a bright young person mention that to me in first period. I was like, yes, we're thinking.
He's wrong.
No, I didn't say that.
No, he needs to go.
He said he's
How is it
special.
wrong?
You need to
It's the
get
same
canceled.
answer.
It is the
So
same
you're
answer.
Thinking about math.
All right. Any questions on 5? How about 6? Did we do 6?
No.
So given that, guys, please stop. Given that line segment FG, that is a chord, is congruent to line segment JH, find the following measures. So JH is 6. What is the length of FG?
Huh?
Wait.
143.
6, yes. Because if they are congruent, they have the same measure.
How do you get?
This is 6 right here.
No, I know.
So if this measure of the arc FG is 143 degrees, what is this measure? Yes. Because if those two line segments are the same, it's kind of like rolling your eyes back in the head. Your eyeball moves, but your cornea is still there. It's still the same arc measure.
Wait, Arnie. 30%.
Okay. What kind of an arc is 143 degrees? Is that minor, semicircle, or major?
Minor.
It's minor.
There you go, minor.
Minor arc. Did we do number 7?
Yeah.
We did 7A. How about 7B? Did you guys finish it?
I did. I did.
What? I didn't.
What?
I heard
That is
something.
so
I heard
easy.
something, bro.
I heard something too.
Today's recording, guys. Stop using foul language in the classroom.
So, quiet. Keegan, come on. So this is x minus 4 quantity squared plus x minus negative 8 quantity squared equals r. R is your radius, which is 3 squared. That equation of the circle is on your golden sheet already, and this is called the equation for the circle, where HK is the center. Yeah, did you catch that? HK is the ordered pair, which is the center of your circle, meaning it's X, Y, but since it's at the center of the circle, it's special, and then we give it new letters, H and K. I just explained that. Right? Oh, I didn't see that, because I was here just after 6.
It was literally until what, 8?
Huh?
It was till 8.
Well, I was in here, so. All right, so we need to clean this up just a little bit. I cannot have a double negative, so we add the opposite here, and it becomes quantity x minus 4 squared plus quantity x plus 8 squared equals 3 squared, which is 9. So this is what we're looking for.
Is that plus 8?
Yes, plus 8. Because we can't have the double negative. Can't subtract a negative. You change it to adding.
No, but like, what do you mean by bless you?
Okay. Number 8. Find the measure of x. We did that one?
Did we do that? No.
It is 80.
I did that.
Oh, you did that one?
It's 80?
How would I find this?
You added all that up and you subtracted.
That's right. You add these three up, get 115 plus 60 plus 105. Gives you 280 degrees. And what do we know about the degrees in a full circle? 360. So subtract the ones you do have, and the ones that are left, 80 degrees would be the measure of this angle. And what kind of an angle is this, since it's at the center of the circle? Central. Center. The vertex is at the center, which makes it a central angle. Center and central. Center and central. Did I?
That's kind of zest, you know what I mean? Zest.
Zest? I don't even know what. My zest is lemon zest and orange zest. I don't know about that kind of zest. All right. The next page, 5. Have we done any of these? All right. So it says that JH is tangent to the circle. If something is tangent, it only intersects in one spot. Not a tangerine, but whatever it takes. All right, so what does that tell me about this angle J? If you have a tangent line that comes to it and a radius that meets it at that same point, it is a right angle. So it's telling us we have to use Pythagorean theorem because we're trying to find this length right here. Keegan? All right, so Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I would guess that formula is already on your sheet. If it's not, and if you don't do well with it, you might want to find a problem from the review and write that in. So A and B are the legs. A and B are the legs. They make up the L. Look, it's L-shaped. Could be backwards. Guys, I heard that. Come on. All right, so I'm going to say A is 24, B is 10, and C is going to be the hypotenuse.
I thought C was like the biggest.
It is the biggest.
So why would
C goes from here all the way down. The L shaped right here, those are always going to be the legs. So A is 24 squared plus B is 10 squared equals C squared. 24 squared is 576 plus 10 squared is 100 equals C squared. Always work down. 576 plus 100 is 676, which is equal to C squared. I don't want C squared. Take the square root. Take the square root. If you take the square root of something squared, you get C. That item itself is
676 equals
26. And if I had to label it, would it be units? Units squared or units cubed? No. Units. We're not finding the area of the triangle. We're just finding that individual length. Okay? All right. That's your stuff? That's your thing? Wow. All right. How about number 10? Did we do 10?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, see the figure to help you. What is the circumference of the circle? First of all, if you had to describe circumference to a third grader, how would you describe it? Caleb.
He don't need to learn this.
Caleb. How would you describe it?
The circle?
You're not subscribing.
No. You weren't supposed to tell him.
Describe the circumference of the circle.
How would you describe it?
The whole thing.
What do you mean by the whole thing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to get the circumference. It's a circle. The outer layer.
Yes. Not the area.
Facts. Never mind.
So,
My
circumference.
brother's in third grade now, and when you explain like that, he's not gonna understand. His brain doesn't work the same as mine.
He's in third grade.
He's in third grade.
All right, so I would say it's like measuring the fence around the circle because you are finding the distance around. See, circumference, fence.
That right there is going to teach him a lot. Say like, explain to him like that, he's gonna understand.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said the last time. You guys didn't remember.
Damn.
Was that too zesty? All right, so circumference. Circumference is perimeter of a circle.
I don't think she knows.
So it's perimeter, but since it's a circle, they have to give it a fancy name, circumference. So looking at this, I have two formulas. I have C equals 2 pi r, and I have C is equal to pi times diameter. Which of those am I going to use? And why? First one, why?
Because it has a radius in pi. No, it doesn't have pi.
Well, they both have pi.
No.
Yeah, they give me the radius, so use the one with the radius, right? So circumference is equal to 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times my radius in the picture is how much? 8. So putting that together, we get 16 pi, which is how much when you hit the pi button?
Wait, say it again.
So what's pi?
Pi.
50.26.
Okay, it says round to the nearest tenth. Which one is in the 10th place? And let me tell you, this is what a lot of you have trouble with. Some of you. I shouldn't say a lot. Some of you. Which is in the 10th place?
Wait, how'd you get that?
The 2. Look next door. 5 or more. I'll come back to you in a minute. Is 50.3. So it needs to go up.
Units.
And it is just units. Right. Very good.
Oh, my candy yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, what question do we have?
I can see it.
Never mind.
You got it?
How would we do the second one? For C equals pi d.
Well, that's a good question. What they would have to give us, or they wouldn't have to give us. What is the diameter if the radius is 8?
Oh.
16.
So then you would put 16 times pi, which is the same as 2 times 8, which is 16 pi. So you would get the same answer.
The diameter is like the middle of the circle.
All the way across. It's the chord that goes through the center of the circle. All the way across. All right, letter B. What is the length of arc AC? It is not 108. We don't want the measurement. We want the actual
Like where?
length. Like if I were to take a tape measure and say this is this many units long. Well, let me ask you this. If the circumference is 50.3, is that arc length more or less than that?
Less.
Definitely less, right?
Oh, I just guessed.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you
Oh,
didn't.
it's not paying attention.
So it is a fractional part of the whole circumference, is it not?
No.
Yes. And if that arc, which is 108, is 108 out of the whole circle, that is a fraction of the circumference. So we take 108 over 360 times 2 pi r. We just figured out what our circumference was. So that is 50.3. So take 108 divided by 360 times 50.3.
Wait, is this the one we use the degree equation?
Yes.
15.09.
15.09, and it says round to the nearest tenth.
So 15.1.
Correct. 15.1 units. Very good.
We had the stuff that was in there, 2 pi r.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Right, and the 2 pi r is what we just found up here, so that's why we use 50.3. So that's why sometimes we'll give you a problem that will help you set up for the next problem. Okay? Any other questions on 10? All right, let's go to 11. Use the figure to answer the following questions. Since line segment AB and line segment AC are both tangent to the circle, they meet at point A, they are said to be what? What are they said to be if they're the same length? Yes, congruent. Miss Dee, why do we use the word congruent instead of equal?
Because it's more of our length.
Sort of. Measures are equal, but when we talk about line segments and arcs, they are congruent. Okay, so numbers are equal, but line segments, arcs, things like that are congruent.
So I can do this, say my arms are one side. They're congruent
If they were the same length, yes.
and they're equal.
If they were, yeah.
So
Okay. Let's not dwell on that.
my brain.
All right, so use your answer of part A to solve for x. So if they are congruent, that means their lengths are equal, right? So how would I solve for x?
See,
No.
8x
no, I'm
minus
talking.
12
Oh,
plus
not that one. I'm not confused. No, I'm
Oh.
talking
They're what?
the other.
Okay, but what back on this problem? How would I solve for x?
You have to combine those two.
Combine them?
Yeah.
No, you said them equal to each other.
Yeah, they're equal. If those two are congruent, that means that this is the same length as this. If they're congruent. I mean, think about a party hat. This is like a party hat that's slipped over to the side. If it's going to be meeting at one point, essentially those two line segments have to be the same length. Okay? So we set 8x minus 12
How does your party hat go from
equals 6x minus 2. How did I get to the party hat?
like this? You go from this to this.
Yeah, it's just over on this side.
How does that happen?
You turn your head.
But you can't.
Yeah, you can. See, you just did.
You have to move your body too.
What do I need to do here?
Combine it with.
I don't say combine like terms here.
You get your
X is on one side, numbers on the other, right?
Yeah.
So move the smaller coefficient over. So subtract 6x, subtract 6x. 6x's cancel out. 2x minus 12 equals negative 2. I need to move the negative 12 to the other side, so add 12. Oh, this should be a negative 2. It is supposed to be a negative 2. 12s cancel out. 2x is equal to positive 10. So x is equal to 5. X is equal to 5. So that's your solving for X. Now, what are the measures of line segment AB and AC? How would I find those? Substitute in for X. So 8X minus 12 is 8 times 5 minus 12 is 40 minus 12, which is going to be 28. What about line segment AC?
Same thing.
What do you mean the same thing?
Substitute the 5 to.
I could substitute, or didn't we already say they were equal, right?
Uh-huh.
So if this one's 28,
I thought that was.
this one's 28 also, right?
So they're both 28?
Yes, because they are equal and those line segments are congruent.
No, 'cause I thought the 40 subtract 12 was the first thing. Because you put it on the line.
No. Given the circumference of the circles, find the radii. The radii. So, circumference. Since we have to find radius, am I going to use 2 pi r? Or am I going to use pi times diameter?
The first one.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Not if you're looking for the r. This has the r, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I got it right.
Circumference is 2 pi r. Start with that. Circumference is 56 pi. Put that in place of C. 56 pi equals 2 pi r. Solve for r to be by itself. What would I need to do?
Divide your pies.
Divide by 2 pi. Bless you.
Bless you.
Divide by 2 pi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Were you trying to hold it or what?
Say thank you.
Pi divided by pi simplifies out. 56 divided by 2 is 28. So the radius is 28 units, units squared, units cubed.
Units. Units.
Just units. It's just a length. Crap. Darn it. Over here, the last one is similar type of problem. Circumference equals 2 pi r. Circumference is 12 pi equals 2 pi r. I'm solving for r. So divide by 2 pi, divide by 2 pi. R is equal to, those simplify out, r is equal to 6 units. Boom, baby. So your, what?
We get it wrong if we don't write units.
Yes.
Probably not.
Good.
On homework? Probably not.
No, I thought you was gonna say that. Your homework.
Oh, yeah, your homework tonight is fill out the gold sheet, especially if you have accommodations, again, because I need to be getting your tests to them, especially if you definitely would like extra whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Second, well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't need to know. Actually, never mind. Never mind. Fill out the gold sheet. Second, start looking at these problems for Module 6. This is on volume and surface area. As I recall, this was not a great test for everyone. However, you will have all the formulas. The formulas are already on that gold sheet, but you have to know how to use them. Right off the top of my head, I have no idea.
I tried my hardest on that test and I don't know what I got.
You could look on Skyward.
I will check.